My blessings, everyone. Oh, the lights just come on. Hello. It's just after 7 in the evening here in Edinburgh, and it's actually dark. I'm looking out the window, by the way, when I'm doing that. The sky has got some red and there's reddish tint in the sky tonight with clouds floating by above the trees. The trees are very, very high outside the window. It's quite amazing. And this is my little den that I'm sitting in, which I've been in since the end of March this year. After moving out of my healing home that I had, which was very light in terms of the height of the apartment was on the third floor, and it had lots of light coming in and big windows, and I loved it. I really loved it, but I had to move, unfortunately, and I had been there for a long time, 11 years. So I'm in this little den of a space. I'm saying little because it feels tiny to me after the place that I came from, and of course, trying not to make comparisons, but it's difficult not to. And I look as if I've got some being standing behind me. Can you see this? Here, this is a string of lights that come from the ceiling, and they're lovely orange and pink and violet colours, but in the video it just looks like a being that's standing behind me, which is no surprise, really, because there are lots of beings around me, I guess. At one time I used to see a presence, a very tall presence way above me when I was standing, and I always felt that it was Archangel Michael's presence there, and it used to come into my space. And I was living in a very small space a number of years ago, in a very old part of the city here in Edinburgh, and it was like a cave. I used to call it my womb. And I had lots and lots of people that came to visit me, and we used to sit around on the floor and light candles and meditate and make food, and it was a really chilled out zone, and it was like living in probably the 8th dimension. It was very multi-dimensional space, and it was so small. It was amazing. People used to come in the door, and it was like they had walked into a completely different planet. It was interesting to see people's the reactions when they came into that tiny space, because it didn't have any boundaries in it, even though it was small. And I used to see this presence or feel it around me a lot when I was in that space. It's very grounded underneath the castle, and it had lots of energy coming into the space. There's a big rock that holds the castle in Edinburgh. It's massive, and it was right above this space that I was living in, and I could feel my ancestors around me, and this vibration coming from this rock. I felt extremely safe in that space. It was interesting, because the old town it can be crazy at the weekends, particularly in Edinburgh. There's lots of noise, and it's a very busy part of the city, but it's also extremely beautiful. So, so this is my present space, and I've got an altar set up, and you can probably see the shapes there, and at the window, the trees outside. Oh, can see the trees tonight. Oh, amazing. And it's very theatrical. I always feel. My life's always like a theatre, and my home's always like a theatrical space as well. I just throw things up on the walls, and so there's a little altar over there, and I've got lots of plants around. And I have prayers up on the wall there, and lots of wall hangings and interesting colours around me. So, excuse me. So, let's see what happens and evolves from here. I was wondering how everyone is today. It's been an extremely intense day, energy-wise. The energies are... I don't know what to say, to be quite honest. Let me just tune in here properly. Just tuning in, asking for this message to flow and harmonize. Thank you. Yeah, today has been very deep cellular shifts through the body, but more than that, I'm really feeling the timelines moving through me. Alternative states, realities moving, feeling that, just the sense of not really knowing what's going on. It's really weird energy for me. It's coming through and shifting my reality and my perception in the blink of an eye, and it's very internal also. I'm really feeling this internal space as very, very sensitive, and it feels uncomfortable, I would say. So it's quite something what's happening. When I tune in, I'm seeing the grid, the planetary grid there is becoming more multidimensional. I always see light there, but I'm seeing lots of colour in the grid today. It looks like it's really taking on a higher vibration through the colours that I'm feeling and seeing. So the grid underneath us is it's amping up, and there's a very, very big gateway open that I'm feeling also. It feels huge. So we're really doing the work here. So I'm just sending lots of love to everyone, and really wishing that we are able to find that center of peace within ourselves. The DNA shifts that are happening and this movement of energy that's moving through us, that's connected with the past in terms of family, friends, anything there that has no relevance in the present. There's a clearing and a purifying process. Again, it never stops, and then we're really experiencing this sense of what we would have called old energy and past times is becoming freed. So we're moving more deeply into our essence in terms of the present. So everything is asking, for this presence of who we are, the presence of the soul within is settling. I feel it's settling in. It's very powerful. So it means that we can be experiencing anything that's related to past memories moving through. Maybe past lifetimes or just past experiences that are shifting out of our systems. When I look ahead, I'm saying we're living in the present, but I'm trying to look ahead. I cannot. This is very frustrating for me because I am an intuitive, and also I'm very connected in with more futuristic vibes in terms of architecture and design, and I see crystalline cities popping up there. They're amazing. And there's a lot of light there when I tune in. So I'm trying to look ahead here to the next week and get a sense of what's happening for us as we move into a new month, a new calendar month. I'm seeing more depth appearing in terms of the planet and its history and its evolution. The timelines are they look as if they're freeing themselves in terms of this ancient source that we live in. When I say we live in it, I mean it's part of us, whether we're aware of it or not. We are connected with these ancient energies. The tribes and these pathways of the tribes in the earth that are opening up. When I look ahead, I'm seeing them becoming more free. So it feels like it's a settling in process between now and the end of this calendar year, the end of December. When we move through the next month, I always feel October as being it feels like a year end to me. It's a time of new energies coming in, and it's also a time of warmth as we move into the winter energies through October. I feel this October is going to be very different from any other month that we've experienced. And I'm trying to look at it without my environment being connected there. I'm looking at a global picture and this sense of warmth in terms of the heart. So there is a movement happening on the planet that is bringing more and more love and more heartfelt energies into our lives. Meeting and connecting with our soul tribe and really feeling this oneness that I speak of on a level of freedom there. So there's more, it feels as if there's more selective energies coming in, where we select our soul tribe. It's like a fine-tuning process that we're in. I feel as if I'm just being tuned up for something and I have no idea what it is at the present time. I haven't really been able to see ahead. And we're becoming so deeply connected into the present moment that in many ways we need to accept that. That's what I'm being told, is to accept this moment. Don't look ahead. The past is moving through, it's going. But it's like a wash of energy that's coming through. And there's this sense of the wisdom there that is connected with our soul, and this ability to read from a very different perspective as our perception changes. So these symbols that I was speaking about, the language of source that can come in many different forms, it comes with lots of magic there connected to it. And it's a very beautiful place to be in. And this isn't awareness, this is actually living it. We have this sense of there's a deep knowing inside us that is growing also. So the higher intuition, which is usually my guiding light and my instincts. I'm a very instinctive person. I live on my instincts, feeling my way through the world. It's very, it feels very grounded and very strong energy, where my awareness is really out there when I'm outside. I'm very connected in with nature, of course, and anything that's changing in nature. So being amongst people, and if I'm amongst a number of people or in a space where there's lots of people, then this all opens up, and I can feel myself being. I feel myself one with everyone, but I also have this sense of these natural instincts that connect us in with our natural selves. So it can be, depending on which day and how my energy is, it can be quite overwhelming. But it can also be, there can be a flow to it that can be really beautiful. So everything is shifting there in terms of the part of us that is really blessed with knowing and knowing ourselves. And it changes the senses. So we have this different feeling about things. The feelings are extremely deep at the present time. It's really, really powerful. I don't think I've experienced so much depth and feeling. And it's part of the cellular shift and the crystalline energy. As the crystalline energy is really, it's like it's burning through the bones and the cells in the body. It doesn't sound very nice, but it's, I wouldn't say it's it's very comfortable, but it's something that I'm getting used to. And as the crystalline energies become more and more freed, then we have a deeper sense of feeling within. Sometimes there will be a really powerful feeling that will come through, and I just feel like it's being zapped by the crystalline energy as it moves in, and I can feel the heat of the emotion, and then it goes ping, and it dissolves and disappears. So I'm having to learn not to hold. No, it's more than not holding on. Not to be afraid. If there's a fear factor, then the energies are saying that everything's been taken care of. And if you're used to taking care of things yourself and really examining and going into feelings and emotions, and which is something that I've done for a long time, then this is different. This is really taking these deep feelings in and then allowing it. It's like an explosion of energy as it just disintegrates and it's gone. And it's also part of the cellular shift that we're experiencing in terms of the old, I was going to say the old ways. It is the old ways, but it's also connected in with a part of us that feels that we're part of a blood family, where there is a movement happening and a heat that's connected with that also. So as these feelings come in, and sometimes I get an image of someone and I can feel them in my heart, and then it disappears again, and it just does not make any sense. So you have to stay really, really out of the head and just try not to get caught up. And it's like a movie that's moving through. So it feels like some old movie reel moving through. It is exhausting. It's extremely exhausting. Doesn't cover it. Resting, just becoming horizontal, and then as the energies move through, and all these images and pictures, and at night time it's dreams that are coming through, then it's like it never stops. It feels like there's no rest. I know that lots of us are not sleeping very much, and if we are sleeping, then it's only for short periods of time, but our sleep state is changing, or it has changed. We don't sleep in the way that we knew sleep anymore. And it can be for short periods because we're being awakened through the sleep state to have a break from, it sounds crazy, but we're actually being wakened up to have a break from resting, because everything is so exhausting in terms of the processing that we're experiencing overnight. So it's quite common just to be asleep for maybe 2 or 3 hours and then waking up and feel that you need to move around. I usually meditate and I move around a bit, and I'll have a drink, and then I'll ask for some guidance to come through. Light language has been really helpful for me personally. I'm feeling that it's lifting my vibration as I'm going through these processes. I don't always use it. I haven't really been using it today, but it is extremely beautiful and it is very light. So just to end it, end this transmission, I feel that I'm talking an awful lot tonight, and that was not my intention. But I hope it's been useful to everyone. I guess the message is that the crystalline energies that are in the earth and our crystalline body is merging with the divine, and it is a space of purity. So all this detoxing that we're doing and this purifying process, it comes from inside us, where we can feel that it's not a time to eat or to digest from outside. It's maybe a time to fast and really feel empty, just allowing the hunger waves to wave through the body. And there's a need to recognize that it's completely natural as well, that everything is okay. There's it's a process. It is a process. I hear myself saying that to lots of people who are questioning what's happening. not to get caught up in anything that feels uncomfortable. And even if it feels painful, to just assimilate and really recognize within. And even if you have to speak and say, this is my process, and allow the process to be what it is. It is continually moving. It moves. So it's the way it should be when it is moving. Anyway, enough. So I'm going to finish with some light language. And I'm wishing everyone a beautiful evening or a beautiful day from your part of the world. And if you've got sunshine where you are, could you please send me some? Because I would love to feel the sun and feel some vibes that come from more tropical and exotic. Okay. So if you want to connect and tune in, you're very welcome. Well, peace to everyone, and blessings, and much love. I'll speak to you soon. Namaste.